They mocked her faith. They mocked her identity. They mocked everything she stands for. And they did it, right there, on the floor of the Australian Senate. This is not just a political story. This is a story about dignity, about what happens when hatred wears a costume and calls itself protest. Pauline Hanson, a name that Australian Muslims have known for 30 years, founder of the One Nation Party, a woman who has spent 3 decades demanding that Muslims be barred from entering Australia, a woman who has called for a complete ban on mosque construction, a woman who has made Muslim lives in Australia harder, louder, more fearful with every passing year. And now she is surging. Her party is rising in the polls like never before. Recent surveys are sending shockwaves through Australia. One major poll now projects One Nation jumping from just 1 seat to 53 seats in the House of Representatives. 53. That would make Hanson's party the largest opposition force in the entire country. Labour, the ruling government, could be left clinging to the thinnest of majorities. The two-party system that defined Australia for generations may be crumbling, and what is rising in its place is frightening many Muslims across the country. But what truly shocked the world happened in November 2025. Hanson walked into the Australian Senate chamber wearing a black burqa, not out of respect, not out of understanding, but as a mockery, as a political stunt. Her legs were exposed beneath it, a deliberate insult wrapped in black fabric. She had just been blocked from introducing a bill to ban face coverings in public, so she wore the burqa herself to make a point, to humiliate, to provoke. The chamber erupted. Proceedings were suspended. Muslim senators stood up and spoke. A Muslim senator from the Greens called it exactly what it was: blatant racism. Fatima Payman, an independent senator who proudly wears the hijab, called the act disgraceful. And she was right. Because it was not a protest. It was a performance of hatred dressed up as politics. For Muslim women who wear the burqa or the hijab out of sincere faith, out of love for Allah, this moment was deeply painful. Their sacred choice turned into a prop. Their devotion turned into a punchline. And the worst part? Hanson smiled through all of it. But here is what the polls cannot measure. Here is what no survey will ever capture. The strength of a community that has faced this before. Muslims in Australia, Muslims around the world, have watched people like Hanson rise and fall throughout history. Movements built on fear, platforms built on division. They make noise. They grab headlines. They surge in polls. And then history judges them. The burqa is not a threat. The hijab is not a danger. Muslim women are not a problem to be solved by politicians with cameras and agendas. They are mothers, daughters, professionals, senators, human beings whose faith is between them and their Creator alone. If this story moved you, share it. Someone in your circle needs to see this. Subscribe to stay connected, because the Muslim world needs voices that speak truth, not fear. And remember, no poll, no parliament, no political stunt can ever diminish the dignity that Allah has given this ummah.